Let's talk about how a yield operations team typically manages their workflow. Despite the complexity of all the different activities ad yield management teams are involved in, there is typically a pretty consistent workflow that they can organize their efforts into. This workflow breaks down into 3 stages. First, there's strategy and hypothesis building. Second comes testing. And lastly, continuous monitoring and management. Let's start by covering strategy and hypothesis building. The first step in optimization of any kind is putting together a hypothesis for a strategy that might increase revenue. An example of such a hypothesis might look like, if I try strategy X, it will increase my total ad revenue. In this case, strategy X could be any number of things, including, but not limited to, changing the position of an ad unit, increasing the price floor for Monday nights at 9 p.m. on a particular ad unit, refreshing an ad unit every 30 seconds, adding a sticky ad unit to a specific page, and so on. Ultimately, the team is coming up with ideas to test. Next, let's talk through what happens during testing. Once a hypothesis has been formulated, it's time to test. This is where other teams get involved. Depending on the hypothesis, a yield ops team member may need support from the ad ops team or engineering and development to execute their desired test. They'll run the test for a set period of time, review the results, and draw insights and conclusions on what permanent changes to settings they should make as a result of the experiment. Depending on the success of the test, the settings tested may make their way into the new default state of your ad setup. And lastly, let's go over continuous monitoring and management. Yield operations teams are also responsible for keeping an eye on yield at all times to be on the lookout for dips or drops. Because of the complexity of the ad tech ecosystem, there are constant changes going on that can affect your yield, meaning you have to be watching 24/7. It is up to the yield ops team to work to identify issues that are causing any drops in yield and troubleshoot those issues. Issues affecting yield can pop up at any point across the ad supply chain, so troubleshooting often involves pulling in other team members to solve. Yield ops ultimately is responsible for being the team that surfaces the issue and tries to isolate the cause of the issue.
Learn more at www.playwire.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, click the link below in the description of this video.